Class of 2022, I'm Mrs. Moore, one of the school counselors, and I'm here with Mr. Kamiri, Ms. Ramsey, and Ms. Serrano. And instead of visiting English classes, the school counseling department has gone virtual with course request support for you this year. At the end of this video, you'll see a walkthrough of the steps you will take to make requests in PowerSchool. It'll probably look pretty familiar to all of you since you've gone through this process since your freshman year, and most of it is going to look the same. Prior to signing in, please take some time to look at all your choices, note the ones you'd like to request, and check to make sure you have all the required prerequisites for any course on your list.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Kamiri. And now that you only have 1 year left of high school, it's important that you know which credits you still need in order to earn your diploma next June. Your counselor's been keeping track of all of this, but it's important that you double check with us just to make sure that you're on track. Just as a reminder, you need 4 English, 3 math, 3 history, 3 science, 1.5 credits in wellness, which must include principles of personal fitness, current issues in wellness, and then a half credit of an activity, or if you played 2 seasons of a sport while you're in high school. You also need 1 art credit, and in addition to your traditional art classes, we also have some other courses that do count as art credit, so you just want to make sure you check with your counselor if you're not aware of that, or to make sure that you have that credit taken care of. But in general, it's just important that you have to meet that total of 22 credits, and then you'll be off as a TA graduate.
Hi everyone, I'm Ms. Ramsey. Just a few other points to keep in mind. We recommend at least 5 credits for students who are interested in attending a 4-year college. If you sign up for an AP class, just know that the AP exam is required and the exam fee is a student's responsibility, and the fee is $94 per exam. Center of Technology students who have reapplied and are returning next year will be automatically added to their program. Students who are interested in applying for a new COT program should apply on the COT website by March 31st. Tell their counselor that they've applied, and you should pick TA classes as if you're not attending, just in case. If you're accepted to the COT program, your counselor will work with you to adjust your course requests for next year. If you are approved for TA release this year, it'll carry over to next year, or you can always apply next year as well.
Hello, I'm Ms. Serrano. Some courses need to be recommended by your current teacher in order for you to request them. This varies by department. Those teachers will be connecting with you soon if they haven't already to let you know what the best course is for you. Speak to your teacher if your recommended course cannot be selected. Remember that a request is not a guarantee. Sometimes 2 classes you would like to take are offered at the same time and you can't take both. Some classes that are listed may not run if there's not enough interest. Mrs. Snyder will now demonstrate the process of going through course request screens in PowerSchool.
Hello, returning TA students. I'm Mrs. Snyder, and I'm here to help you with your course requests for next fall. And first thing you need to know is that this is through PowerSchool. We have had feedback from students in the past who have said that the PowerSchool app is not great for this, so it would be better for you to go in to the PowerSchool website and sign in that way. And once you sign in, you are going to go to class registration right here on the left-hand side. And you'll see something that looks like this. So for each grade level, it'll look a little bit different. The one that I'm looking at today is for those entering 10th grade, but you'll see the course lists are pretty much the same all the way through. One of the first questions we always get when we go through this process is, what's the red exclamation point mean? What's the green check mark mean over on the right hand side? So the red exclamation point means that this is something that you have to do before you can submit your choices for your course requests. So you have to pick an English, a history, a math, and a science. If you're going into senior year, I think the red exclamation will only be on English because you only need 3 credits of history, math, and science. But obviously most of you will probably take those as well. The green check mark just means that you can move on past this section if you want to, but you're welcome to go into that section and make some choices. When you're ready to go into a section, you're going to click on the pencil, but you really don't want to start this until, first of all, The teachers have made their recommendations, so we won't even open this up for you to do until that has happened. And second, you don't want to go into this process until you've had a chance to look through the program of studies and make a list for yourself of what are the classes you want, because if you take too long with this, it might time you out and then you don't save your work, then you have to start all over again. So better to have your list already written out, maybe with a few options. And then if at any point in the process you get stuck, there's a class that you want to take, but it's not open for you for some reason, just go ahead and finish the process anyway, submit what you have. You can always go back and edit it later after you check in with your teacher or your school counselor to see what was wrong with the particular class that you were trying to add. Let's look at a menu. So English requirement. In every one of these, when you click on that pencil, you're going to get a list of classes, and there's a lot of information here, but a couple of things to notice. Prerequisite. This will give you the same information that's in the program of studies. Also, if this is a course you can take, there should be a box over on the left side for you to click. See how there's a box there for creative writing? If a teacher has opened up a recommendation for you, there will be a box on your screen for you to click to say that you want that class. There are some classes that don't need that recommendation. So for example, creative writing is a class that any senior can take. It says this course is available for seniors only. So if you're not a senior, don't click on that box. You might be a junior, and if you're going into junior year, you might find a box next to Foundations of Junior English, or Junior English, or Honors Junior English, the same for sophomores. So look for that class that your English teacher told you they were going to recommend. There should be a box there for you to check to say that that's the class you'll be taking. Once you've made your English selection, you do the same thing with history. With history, the one thing I'll point out here is that it looks like not all of the history classes are listed, but actually they are, because these are the history classes that meet the graduation requirement. The other history classes that you see in the program of studies are electives, so they will show up later on the electives course list. That's true for a couple of math classes and some science classes as well. So history requirement means these are classes that meet the history requirement that you need for graduation. And you should probably be picking one of those for sure, a sophomore or junior year, and a senior year option. Yes, but you don't have to. Same thing with math. Go through, look for the place where that course is that your teacher told you about. And as I've been doing, you can see at the bottom, you can click on these numbers or next and last to move between pages so that you can see the whole list of all of the classes that are offered. And just look for that class that you know you want to take that you've already talked with your math teacher about. Same thing for science. So you'll repeat the process for science. And then you get to languages. In languages, you can take any first year course without getting your recommendation. For example, French 1 or German 1 here on the first page, but there are many other languages to pick from. If you are moving on to another year of a language, you've already taken the first year, then your teacher will open up a recommendation and you will find that box next to the course that you're supposed to take. Wellness electives. So if you are a sophomore, you actually don't have to choose current issues in wellness, because I'm going to point down here below the box for a second where it says additional requests. You'll see that I have current issues in wellness already plugged in for everybody going into sophomore year, since that's a requirement for graduation. And we like to see you get that done in sophomore year. So you don't have to choose that at all if you are a sophomore. If you're a sophomore and you still need an activity credit and you're not planning to do 2 years of a sport, then you can choose an activity credit here in the wellness classes. If you are a junior or a senior, there are also some options here for you if you'd like to take them. And then the elective courses, this last one that you have your choices in, this is arts, it's tech and new media, it's all of those history, math, and science classes we talked about before that are electives. And there's a couple of other classes in here as well. So many of them are open to anyone in a certain grade level. Make sure you read the directions in the prerequisite note to be sure that that works for you. I would want to just point out one other thing here, because there are several. Digital imaging 1 and 2 is the first example I see like this. There are half your classes sometimes where the first half is needed to take the second half. So this is true for digital imaging, for movie making. There are a few others. So it says in digital imaging 2 that you must also request digital imaging 1. So if you request both of them, we'll make sure that we put digital imaging 1 in the first semester, digital imaging 2 in the second semester for you. Or if you've already taken digital imaging 1 and now you want to take digital imaging 2, that's fine. You can just choose digital imaging 2. But just make sure that if you haven't done 1 yet, you check that as well. So that'll happen in a few different cases. That happens also with honors accounting. If you haven't done intro to accounting, you should choose both intro to accounting and honors accounting. And that's really it. So when you get to the bottom of the page, it says it requires between 4 to 8 hours, credit hours. And you will do that pretty easily just by checking off your English, history, math, and science. You're going to get your 4. For seniors, there might be a little variation there because you might have met some requirements in some areas and want to do more electives, and that's fine. But please select at least 4 credit hours worth of courses before you try to submit it. You obviously can't select more than 8 because that's the full schedule. And then you can always, as I said at the beginning, go back and make changes if you want to. There are some classes that you're not going to find on this list that you are expecting to be able to take. And that might happen in some special education classes in ELL, and there might be a couple of others. So if you have a question like that, there's a course that you want to take and you don't even see it on these lists at all, check with your teacher or with your school counselor. Your school counselor can definitely help you make sure you get into courses that might not show up on this list or in the program of studies that you want to have in your schedule for next year. It's really important that everybody does this in a timely manner. So please get your submissions in, because if you get your submissions in and we have really accurate information about how many courses everybody wants to take and in which areas, that helps us decide when to offer them, how many sections to offer, and gives us the greatest likelihood of meeting your requests. So even though not all requests are going to always be able to be worked out, we're going to try our best to meet as many of your requests as we can. And that's it. Please, again, make sure you check with your school counselor if you have any questions. Thank you.